I got locked up in 1997. I say by two angels. Of course, they weren't angels. They were warrant officers. I was wanted for a federal case in Miami, Florida, and also a drug case in New York. And I call them my two angels because they arrested me on these warrants, and that's the last time I had a drink or a drug. So I was incarcerated knowing that I wasn't coming out. And then, just the fact that in 1993 I had a daughter that was born, and I walked out on her life just to stay in that lifestyle and then get caught up with the drugs. And as I was talking to my daughter, she was crying while I was incarcerated. And I said, "Brianna, why are you crying?" She said, "Because you won't come and see me." And my heart shattered. I couldn't run and get alcohol. I couldn't get drugs to numb the feeling that I was feeling. And I knew about God, but I didn't know God. And I just cried out, "God, if you're real, either have somebody kill me or change me because I can't live with all this pain anymore." And I believe at that point in time, God honored the desire of my heart that I really wanted to change the life that I was living. And I believe that I was born again.
So tell me how life changed for you after that point.
Well, from that point on, being incarcerated, there's two things that I always try to do. Even from that point on, was get money for an attorney to get me out of the mess I got myself into. But then I would read a lot of books. But I remember one girl had told me when I was calling up for money, said, "Why don't you go read your Bible?" And I'm saying, "Okay, it's just a brush off. How am I going to find an attorney or money in the Bible that I needed to survive in jail?" And I just picked up the Bible and started reading it. And like I said, I believe God was really honored the desire of my heart that I wanted him to change my life. And I tried so many times to change it my own throughout those years, but only God could do what God can do. And he's just entered my life. And from that point on, everything was just the Spirit of God just moving me, directing me in places that I was going to, from one Bible study to two Bible studies to 1997, September 9th, 1997, getting baptized as an adult. And knowing that I was going into the witness protection program because I cooperated with the government, and that baptism kind of showed me this is who you are, dying to self, coming out to a new life, knowing that I was going to get a new life in the witness protection program. So I call it my born-again experience.
So how, when you were incarcerated and at that moment that you had an encounter and came into a knowledge of Christ, how long were you sentenced for? What kind of sentence were you looking at?
Well, I got 24 months. I sentenced for 24 months for a lot of the crimes that I had committed. And I served, I think, 20-something months on that time in federal witness protection program, a jail outside of the normal population. And like I said, from that point on, God just kept working in my life, bringing me to more Bible studies, more Christians around me, and knowing that I was going into the witness protection program when I came out. And what I like to do is say to anybody is it's never too late for a new beginning, and that's what God was showing me, that through him my life can change. And that's just how it started working. I just kept on having more of a hunger, more of a thirst for more of this Jesus that I knew of, but really wanted to know about more.
Well, obviously you went into the witness protection program because you testified against other individuals. That was something, well, the name suggests, it was something to protect you. At what point did you come out of that program?
Well, I violated the protection because I married somebody from New York, and I wasn't supposed to do that. What I like to let people know is that I was a witness for a government. Now I'm a witness for Christ, so I'm still in the witness protection program, so to speak, but only the different person that's protecting me is now God himself. And then I got thrown out of the witness protection program about 2 years into it, for marrying somebody from New York City. And my wife said, now's a chance to share your story because you don't have to hide yourself anymore.